Be our guest, put our podcast to the test. Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest.
Hey, what is that jingle, Barry? Do you know what's going on here?
Chad, what is the... Sure, that's a bit strange. We haven't heard that one before.
Well, we actually have got a brand new segment to the podcast. And for the very first time, we've got our first guest. She's tuned in via Zoom. But Barry, would you like to give her a quick introduction first?
Sure. We are chatting today to a professional streamer, a legend in the online streaming world, a girl by the name of Natalie. And her kind of Facebook name is Natchats, a Facebook partnered gamer doing really incredibly well, has grown a huge fan base over the last couple of months. And we're really excited to chat to her about online streaming and what the industry actually looks like.
Welcome, Natalie. How's it going that side?
Hello, guys. I'm super excited to be here. It's going fantastic. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, all good. Obviously, we're sort of early morning this side, and you're kind of easing into your afternoon, getting ready for your evening stream, which obviously adds an extra dimension. But yeah, I mean, how's that all going? We were just chatting about lockdown. How's that treating you?
Yes, definitely. It is now 3 in the afternoon for me. So I'm definitely having my little mid-afternoon break after my morning stream that I just did. But the lockdown is actually going okay. I must be honest. It's not something that has affected me. I'm really, really blessed in that way just because of the job that I do. My quarantine is pretty much being at home and literally streaming all the time. So I couldn't say that it's changed much for me, but it's been sad obviously seeing it affect so many other people, like financially and like all that kind of thing. But it's been crazy. It's definitely brought a lot more people into the stream. I think because a lot of people are at home.
Yeah.
And it's just been something so fantastic to create like a space for them to hang out during the quarantine.
Amazing. Well, I mean, Barry obviously kind of touched a little bit of your credentials and where you're at with your stream at the moment, but let's take a little step back for those who are kind of new to streaming or don't know what it entails. I mean, how do you explain what you do to family and friends and anyone who asks?
Oh, that's really a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's such a new generation thing that trying to explain to like an older generation, because it's not your typical old school job of like being an accountant or being like an engineer or like that kind of thing. It's not like a degree. It's not anything of that sort of sense. But it's something that I explained that since I was small, I've always enjoyed like gaming and community, and obviously in the name Natchats, like I chat a lot. And so I'm a very people's person. So for me, I was driven by a community-based job, which it really excited me because I always used to work in retail. So I was dealing with people on a daily basis. And I was like, but I want to do this in a way where I'm also having fun at the same time. And there's not that pressure. And so I just decided that I wanted to do gaming. So I explained that in the sense that it's a community-driven job. And for me, my job is like creating entertainment for people while I'm gaming. So it's pretty much like a gaming show if you want to think about it. So like I try and make like every stream a bit different, bring some humor, like they're tuning in, if that makes sense. Like, oh, what's like, Natchat's going to do today? Trying to like really create that content and a place where they can tune in and get excited to watch, like pretty much like a TV show. So a lot of the time that's what I say. I pretty much do a gaming TV show because there's no other way of explaining that I'm sitting on the internet playing games. A lot of the time they're like, what? You know what I mean? So that's just as best as that I could like describe it.
I think it's a great parallel because when I was watching a little bit of your stream the other day, like it's very high energy and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of noise, and obviously you're trying to rile everyone up and get everyone involved. And so the gaming is kind of just the vehicle for that. And your personality is actually what carries it through. Do you think that's the major differentiator for streamers who succeed and who don't? Is it that personality aspect that kind of wins them that battle?
100%. So at the end of the day, you could be like one of the best gamers out there, but like nobody wants to sit and watch you just win a game. Like you need to create that content. Like you got to have the content, you got to have that personality, and remember that those people are giving up time to be sitting there watching you. They've given up time in their day to be sitting there watching you play a game. So like, why wouldn't you want to make that fun and like interesting for them? So for me, it's massive. I wouldn't say whether it's like determines whether you'll succeed or not. But for me as a gamer, and what I'm passionate about on my stream and my content is a lot to do with putting it back into my community and making sure that I'm making a positive, enjoyable place for them to come and watch and hang out. Definitely high energy. But it's incredible how I can have like one of the worst days possible and honestly not even feel like streaming. And then I put my music on and my countdown starts and I see the chat going crazy and they're all excited and they're like, yes, Nat. Or I see a comment like, oh my God, I'm having a bad day. I'm so glad you live. And it's amazing how it just flips everything around and just makes it so much more exciting and changes my day. And just makes me like even more excited for the stream. So it's definitely like bouncing off energy with one another. That just makes it, that high energy place to be.
Amazing. I mean, just that little description kind of just gives me goosebumps. It's insane. So, I mean, let's just go into that and let's go into your current following, which like you said, is a community that you've built. A really massive achievement. And I'm sure anyone listening will be inspired by that. I mean, just to touch on that, you've got over 180,000 followers at the moment on Facebook. And I mean, sort of more than half of those tune into almost every single chat, which is insane. That's so amazing.
It's super exciting, and like the growth, like I said, has just been absolutely insane, especially like obviously with the corona and a lot of people being at home. But I'd like to think that I'm obviously offering something that people are really enjoying and feel really connected to. That's something I'm proud of because I am brought up with quite a strong morale and like value in life. So for me to like put something out there, especially being, growing at where I am and like being a role model necessarily in the community, it's important for me to display those standards and values and really be like a role model for people to be watching and not necessarily like look at me in a different light. So it's a lot of pressure sometimes, but at the same time it's rewarding, and I feel extremely proud of what I've built and what I've done so far. I mean, I haven't even hit a year yet. My year's next month. And so when I started this, I really did not think like this was gonna be the way it was at all. But yeah, it's been incredible. We just actually hit 187,000 today, which is crazy. Fantastic. I feel like I literally hit 100K like last month. So it's been nuts. Wow. The love is just unreal. Like people say there's not a lot of love in the world. There definitely is. Like, come to my community, you'll see it. It's insane.
Just gotta find your tribe.
Exactly.
Chatting about why you started, how did you get into this? Like, what happened to finally decide, cool, I'm gonna try and do the streaming thing, and how did you get that first kind of few streams going when you didn't have any followers?
Yeah, for sure. So I always wanted to be like that whole YouTuber, like vlogger, like everybody I feel like goes through that thing.
Don't we all?
Right. You really want to be like that person, especially if you are really chatty, outgoing, that's like your vibe. Yeah. And so I tried the YouTube, I tried everything. Like I kept trying like doing all these different things because I honestly just, I couldn't say that I wasn't happy with the work that I was doing because I really enjoyed makeup, and that's what I used to work in before in skincare. But I just felt like it's just not something that I'm feeling like I'm making a difference in the world, if that makes sense. Like I want to make my mark. Yeah. And so we had a little bit of trouble about a year and a half ago with our community priest passing away, and it was really tough in the community. And so I decided to create like a community page for people to come and watch me live stream, whether it was sitting at home and we would maybe go through like some Bible verses or like some old videos of like, the priest, and like just chat about like how he's changed our lives and really like jump off each other's energy to try create a bit more of positivity, which was such a devastating time, in the community. Yeah. And so I actually labeled the channel called Hangouts with Nat, and that was actually the original name page of my page. It was Hangout with Nat. And I really enjoyed doing the live streams, and it was lovely, but it did obviously get to a point where I was like sitting there and I was like, what could we possibly more discuss, what could I do? But I'm enjoying this whole live streaming thing. Like it's pretty cool, And so I always enjoyed watching gamers on Facebook, and because Facebook gaming was so new, it was such a new platform, like how many of us, sit on Facebook and sort of scroll through. I found it so fascinating how like these people were literally on my Facebook playing games, and I was like, maybe I should like try give this a go. I mean, I think I'm terrible at the gaming part, but I feel like I could be a bit different and maybe like make it like fun or funny. And so I went off, and like we were actually going through a bit of a difficult financial time at the time. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go buy like a PC. I'm going to go like, I started with like, minimal stuff, but I really wanted to try and make this happen because I just had this like urge to like try this whole gaming live stream thing. And so I already had like a few followers from the live stream community thing. And then I just started to go live. And I don't know, I think people were attracted to the different South African accent. It wasn't like, because a lot of the streamers were like American. So it was something completely different. People were like, what the hell is this girl like, what's she saying? And like, let's be honest, South African people, we're very unique with the stuff we say. We're very out there and we're bold and that sort of thing. And so I think people were really drawn to how maybe different I was to what was currently on Facebook. And so then it just kickstarted from there. Like every time I would go live, I would gain some followers, and then they would return, and then you get the shares, so they start sharing around, and then that's just how I slowly started to grow and grow.
Absolutely amazing. And I mean, that's now transitioned to a new milestone, I believe, for you, which is becoming a official Facebook gaming partner. And I'm sure that means a heck of a lot for you. And just kind of clarify to everyone who doesn't know what that actually means. What does it entail?
Yes, of course. So it was crazy to finally become a Facebook gaming partner. Super, super exciting. And so it was obviously a goal from the start to be an official partner. So what that basically means is like you're an ambassador for Facebook gaming. Like you're an official gaming partner. It is like a contracted thing. And so to get there, you obviously have to hit certain milestones on your streaming page, hit a certain like audience, that kind of thing, a target, that sort of thing. And so what that entails is like obviously more exclusive events with Facebook gaming, like being featured as a Facebook gaming partner. It's a partnership at the end of the day, just like any sort of business partnership, kind of the same. So I'm pretty much in business partnership with Facebook gaming. And super exciting for me because I am like the first Australian partner. So in America, they've got over like a few hundreds, Asia, Europe, you name it. But I'm the very first oceanic person to be partner, which is so exciting.
Wow.
It took a little bit of time just because when I was at the gaming convention in PAX, I really, expressed how I would love to be a partner. And, they took a look at my growth and they were like, no, you definitely are like doing great and we want to make you a partner. But our problem is that we don't have any, partner managers in Australia that could be your partner manager. So that's where the difficult time came in. And it was a lot of things because they would have to make like an exception for me to try put me under North America. And it got really, really complicated. So, felt a little bit defeated. And felt like I wasn't going to be able to get that partnership because Facebook, like I said, Facebook gaming is so new and it's growing rapidly that like they need to expand the team and that kind of thing. So it was exciting for me to finally get it because it showed me that they put in that much effort to really get that done for me. And they really wanted me to be a partner. So I felt like really accomplished and really like this is an incredible achievement for me. I've never achieved anything like this in my whole life. And so it was a really, really fantastic day. The day I got the call and they were like, Nat, we got to tell you something. We're partnering you. And it was actually quite funny because the two partner managers that I met at PAX, which is the gaming convention, they were like, we actually had to like rock paper scissors over you on FaceTime because I wanted to manage you, he wanted to manage you. We're a rocket paper scissoring. So it was really, really nice. I felt really welcomed into the community. So I am actually under North America, but I feel really, really like grateful that like I've been given the opportunity regarding like the circumstances of being in Australia. I can still be a partner, which is insane.
And I'm sure it's going to give you lots of opportunities to get around the world and travel to some of those big events and whatnot. I want to piggyback off a question from Twitter from Evelyn, who's asking you, have you traveled a lot in your life? And what kind of places do you look forward to traveling to in the next kind of year or two as you start to scale up this business of yours that you've built?
Yes, of course. So I absolutely love to travel. That's one thing I always do every year is try save up and go on like a 6-week holiday to somewhere different I've never been. And so I have actually been to America a couple of times. I've been fortunate enough to go. But yes, this year I ended up going to Boston PAX. which is super exciting. My very first gaming event as a streamer. And I was supposed to attend the one in Seattle, which was last year, November, I think. But I actually have really bad anxiety of flying by myself. So I've like flown all my life. I've absolutely never had a problem whatsoever flying. I've been on hundreds of flights, but there's something about being by myself and flying that, I don't know, just triggers something inside. And so I was so ready for this like Seattle trip to go to my and this was when I was at about 10Ks. I was really new on the scene. I was excited to go, represent Natchats and go. And I just got to the airport and had a total meltdown and I couldn't go. Right. So I ended up canceling that trip, which is really like sad for me. But, things work out how they're supposed to be. Yeah. And then this opportunity came around for PAX Boston. And one of my friends said, look, I've never been to America, so I'm happy to travel with you. So I ended up traveling with her. And that was my very first convention I attended, which was so exciting. I got to meet so many of my other fellow streamers that I've been like playing with and talking to, this whole time during this journey. So cool to finally see them like in person. I got to meet like Facebook Gaming, which was exciting, and that sort of thing. But a lot of traveling, yes, coming up, especially now being a partner as well, to really like, attend the events and be there at the Facebook booths. And that kind of thing. So a lot of America trips, because that's where a lot of the PAXs do happen. But I'm hoping to bring a lot more to Australia as well, because we do actually have a PAX in Melbourne, which will be super exciting. So that I could maybe travel within Australia as well, for the gaming events, which is cool.
And that time when you first got to meet some of your actual real life fans, is that the moment that it just kind of hit home to you that, these are actual real people, like you said, who are kind of investing a lot of their time to tune into your streams every day?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't, I must say, I cringe at the word fans because I like really just don't consider my followers anything like a fan, because I just like, it makes me feel super like weird. And so I just like to call them my family members, because like they are like a part of my community and they're just so wonderful and give me so much of their time, like, that you would like to a family member. And so when I did go and I had like the odd person come up to me, I was just like, this is weird. Like, how do you know who I am? And actually, that wasn't my first encounter at PAX when someone came up to me and they were like, oh my God, it's Natchats. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I was out on a night out actually in Perth. And because I call my community my uhanas, which means family in Hawaiian. Yeah. And so I went out one night and I was a little tipsy, I'm not going to lie. I was chilling at the bar, like trying to order my drink, chilling. And this guy just kept like looking at me and I'm like looking at him. And he's going, Uhana. And I'm thinking, what the frick are you saying, bro? And I'm like, kind of like, am I that drunk? Like, what is he saying? And I'm like, sorry, what are you saying? He's like, Uhana means family. I'm like, oh my God, you watch my stream? He's like, yes. He's like, I watch your stream. He's like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I can't believe I bumped into you. So I was like, oh my God, please come in my stream tomorrow and say hello. That's insane. So I definitely am not used to people knowing who I am at all, because it's like, I don't consider myself as anybody. I'm just like a person online playing games, trying to make you laugh. But it definitely does like, wiggle your heart when you have people that get so happy just to see you and like they want to give you a massive hug and be like, I love your streams. Like, it's so rewarding. It's definitely something I didn't think I would experience at all.
And where do you think this industry is going? Like, obviously, we've seen huge growth over the last couple of years. Where do you see it going in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you think it's going to become a real mainstream form of entertainment where it like really has mass market appeal? Or do you think it's going to remain quite a kind of niche kind of individual focused on the internet?
I feel like if you're talking about like streaming as a whole, I feel like it's definitely it's gonna get bigger for sure, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those jobs which is just like every other job where it's not everybody's gonna make it in there. A lot of people are gonna like have that confidence to do it, which is exciting because why not try something? But also you can't be disappointed if it doesn't work out for you, because like that's not everybody's path in life, if that makes sense. So I feel like when you find something that you're meant to be doing, it will work out for you. So I definitely feel like streaming is going to grow. Like I've seen it on the daily. I turn on my Facebook gaming app and there's like hundreds of new people streaming, which is so exciting. Okay. Because it's so community driven and there's going to be a stream for absolutely every single individual out there. So not everyone's going to love my stream. Not everyone's going to love the way I'm like I talk, or they might find me annoying. So there's always something out there for you to watch that you will like. So I definitely think it is a growing thing. But I feel like at the same time, the success rate can be a little bit more challenging, because it was the same when like YouTube started and people, got that initial hit on YouTube and they were massive. And now to try like be someone on YouTube is like nearly impossible. It's super, it's super difficult. So it's all about like that timing. Yeah, it's all about that timing. And so I feel like now's the time to really be a part of that streaming, because like, other platforms, you get so lost on them. And because Facebook gaming is so new, it's a great platform to really like start with and get recognized on. Because like I said, how many of us scroll on Facebook all day looking at things and that kind of thing. And so I definitely think it's going to grow. I definitely think, we can only watch so much Netflix. We can only watch, so many movies and that kind of thing until you want to try something different. And I think what's so great about the gaming is that it's so interactive, because you can learn also a lot from it, from like the games they're playing. You get to like watch your favorite people play with one another, and if the streamer offers you to play with them, how even more exciting, because then you get to join in and actually play with them. So it's a really interactive job, which I think a lot of people like, because I feel like the world we live in, it's very like each person for themselves. We don't interact as much with human beings anymore, because we're so like, in our own worlds. So it does offer a lot of interactive opportunities, which is what I love so much about streaming.
Absolutely. Absolutely amazing. And just in terms of that interactive bit, for anyone who hasn't actually watched a stream before and seen what it entails, I'm certainly very new to it, and obviously was fascinated by the whole thing of it all, and obviously watched one of your streams. And it really is, like Barry said, such high energy. But I mean, a lot of work for you as well to kind of keep your attention on the game you're playing, keep your attention on the community and the chat that's going on the side as well. How do you kind of do it all at the same time?
Honestly, as my community has grown, I'm not gonna lie, it's been absolutely super difficult. I used to actually have like a little screen with my chat on, and I could only see like a maximum of like 10 comments. And my chat, because I have such a personal relationship with a lot of the people that come into my stream every day, they'd be like, now you missed my comment, that really started to like really bother me, because I was like, oh my god, I don't want to miss your comments, like kind of thing. So I ended up going to buy this massive freaking monitor that I could tilt like, the opposite way. So now I can see my chat a lot better. I'm not gonna lie, it's helped so much, but it is challenging at times. But I feel like with everything that you do, it comes with practice. So you start to get the hang of it. You learn like the times where you can quickly look at chats, where you can like, and the importance of moderators in my stream. Oh my goodness, is so important. So I'm really blessed to have such a fantastic team behind me of moderators that really answer a lot of questions in the chat for me, and respond for me if I've missed a comment or that kind of thing. But I do try like greet mostly everybody in the chat. And I always do like apologize if I have missed out. But at the same time, I want to also bring a little bit of quality gameplay. So I don't want to be like totally focused completely all the time on the chat, and the gameplay is like terrible. You want to have that mixture of a bit of both. But a lot of the time, sometimes when I'm in one of those funny moods and I'm just laughing and having a total fun time, I'm totally talking to the chat the whole time. We're dying, we're laughing. It's okay. It depends on the vibes. And then some days I'll have like when I'm doing like my really like kind of sweaty stream and I want to be like really into the game. So my community is kind of used to that. So they know Friday to Mondays is like supporter games. So we're laughing with the supporters, we're hanging out, it's more chilled. And then like Tuesday, Wednesdays, I've got like my more like fixed stream where I'm like either co-streaming with another streamer, or I'm like, just doing solos and I'm trying to get the win. So I feel like they know the particular day of what's going to be on the stream. But I do make sure that I read a lot of my comments, because I am streaming and I am where I am right now because of my community, and I would never disregard that whatsoever. I'd rather like die in the game than like miss a comment.
Well, that's amazing. And I suppose that's that personal aspect to it, which has made you so successful on this. Now, just one more question, obviously, because we are running out a bit of time. On my side, we obviously chatted before the call just about like how you said, if people say there's no love in the world, they need to come to your community and they'll see it all there. And that's really just so amazing. But obviously, every now and then you get that one guy, you get that troll who's trying to invoke a bit of a reaction. And I just wanted to know, how do you handle trolls?
The trolls, you gotta love them. You gotta love them. So I am a really like fiery Italian kind of girl, you know. So there would be like a few comments that used to really trigger me, and I used to really like lose my cool on stream. And it's taken a lot to really train myself to be a lot more calm. And again, the moderator is so important because they will remove a lot of the comments before I've even seen them, which is fantastic for me, and really, really help. But, you know, it's one of those things where I try to really sit and think to myself, what has created that person to want to react that way? So there must be something going on in their personal life that's obviously created this person and want to react and be so nasty in my chat. So I try to put myself in their shoes and say, I don't know what they're going through right now. I'm gonna avoid it because I feel like people really feed off your reaction. And the more I react to it, the more like sort of crazy people go in the chat. And I don't really want to like cheer on that in my stream. I don't want people to start backing me up and then start being nasty to people in the stream and be like, don't say that. Like, who are you? Like, I don't want to entertain that in my community. And so when we do have a troll, that we pretty much just ban them, delete them, and that's it, kind of move on. Before, it wasn't really like that. I used to lose my shit on stream and swear and, you know, do whatever. But then I would really go watch myself back and I felt really embarrassed and like humiliated with the way I was acting. And I was like, I don't want to be that person on a live stream, and I'm allowing someone sitting behind a screen to affect me in such a big way, which honestly, they have no relevance whatsoever. And I actually have a really funny story of a troll that came in. It was a man in my chat. And so I was playing and he literally wrote, "You're so dog shit at the game. My son could play better. Like, you're embarrassing. Why are you streaming?" And so like a lot of the time, certain comments don't bother me. But this particular comment really frustrated me because I hovered over his name and his profile picture was literally him like holding his little son. And I just responded to him and said, look, like, I don't understand how you can be a dad going into a live stream and like posting such a negative comment when you're a dad to a son who looks up to you and you're supposed to be a role model. I said, God forbid if your son was playing a sports match and another parent came up to you and said, why is your son playing this sport? He's so dog shit at it. What would be your response? And he actually replied in my chat and he said, I've never looked at it that way. I do apologize. Because I said, like, you're so out of line. Like, you're an embarrassment to be a dad, writing on the internet to someone trying to enjoy a game, being so toxic and negative. Like, what kind of role model are you for your son? And I feel like that really hits a spot for him. So sometimes when you approach trolls in a way where you can like see where you're coming from, so you kind of put them back in your shoes. So just like you can see their shoes, you want to put them in your shoes and make them really, really see your perspective and how it makes you feel. And I feel like they really like look at it and they go, oh, she's kind of got a point here. And so he really apologized. He ended up becoming a supporter and everything. And he still he comes in my stream. Amazing. And so I try to approach my trolls in a way that I can sort of change their thinking instead of like, you know, just feeding that and just being gross back. Like, how can I make a difference and make them want to be a better person? That's how I feel.
That is awesome. And Natalie, thank you so much for your time. It's been really cool to hear about this world and shine some light on this world. I want to encourage everyone listening or everyone watching at the moment, if you've never watched a stream before, you don't know anything about this world, Natchats is a great place to start. And I'm sure Natalie will welcome you with big open arms there. And thank you, Natalie, for your time today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. This has been awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much. That's our first guest, and really happy to have her. Shall we move on to the rest of our episode, Barry?
Let's move on.
Across the pond.